YouTube, this is an educational medical video about my legal medical prescription in the UK. This was also filmed about a month ago.
Yo, I'm Drew and I have had a very requested video recently, and that is to test all of the UK medicals that claim 30%, because there are a lot of medical bits in the UK right now that claim over 30%. Even one of these is crazy and it claims 36%. And I have a testing device. I figured we may as well get them out and test these claims to see if the claims actually are what they say. Because you would think with medical, like legal medical in the UK, that their claims would actually have to be accurate, right? This is an actual legal medical product with proper medical tests. And I'm not so sure if even any of these are gonna come back at 30%. Maybe they will, maybe I'm just very pessimistic, but the highest I've ever tested on my machine in general is 29. It can test way more than that if the flour was more, but the highest we've ever come up to is 29. Let's go through what we've got here first as well, because we've got a few different things. We've got a spritzer, which claims 32%, right? We then also have a gastro, no, this is a GMO, sorry. This is the GMO, which claims bang on 30%. I think we had this from Peace Naturals before, right? I think this is Peace Naturals? Yes, and I've had this before, and when I did have it before, I think it came up at like 27 or 28, so it was close, but it wasn't 30. Then we also have the My Medica Strawberry Grail. This actually doesn't claim 30, it claims 27. We can use this as a bit of a control, but at the same time, I got this a while ago, and I really liked it, but there was a huge mixed response online from people about whether this was any good. But I love OG and I like Holy Grail, and last time I thought this was like a proper example of Holy Grail, this Strawberry Grail. And there were some people who were like, nah, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, all this stuff. Bro, I've been coming to Amsterdam for the last 10 years now, and I've been consuming for way longer, and I even have videos on my channel of Holy Grail from 10 years ago, and this is the closest thing I've had on medical to it, and it seemed like a really good representation of it. So this is a new batch. I wanted to see what this was like, and we'll also see if this comes up at the 27 that it claims. Then I have the gastro pop. This claims 31%, and finally we have some donkey butter, which claims 36%. I can almost guarantee you that that is not going to come up at 36%. Maybe it will, but I would be very, 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 very surprised. So I think first of all, you know what I'm going to open first? I'm going to open the Strawberry Grail first, because this I'm super interested in. I really want to know if it has gotten better, maybe it's gotten worse, and then we can also test it with the machine. That doesn't smell bad at all. I feel like it doesn't smell quite as strong as the first batch. It smells really good. Let me crack a nug. It smells like some proper gas. I feel like it smells more like a general OG than the last one. Like the last one I feel like really represented a Holy Grail really well. This to me right now just smells like a really nice OG in some way, but that's the flavor that I'm sort of getting from the smell. I guess let's see how it's testing. Let's find out if this is actually 27%. I feel like maybe it's this bag that's different that's kind of changing the smell here. 28, oh damn. So yeah, they're probably actually putting accurate results on this one, because I mean, it claims 27, I'm getting a 28, so I would assume 27 is actually an honest average result. That's I wasn't really expecting that. That's actually really good. We have a control variable. The 27% seems legit. All right, where is our next lowest? I think our next lowest is 30%. Yeah, our next lowest claim is 30%, bang on, with this GMO. Claims 30%, there's no way. I mean, GMO does come out pretty high. If there was gonna be anything that was gonna be 30%, you would expect it to be a GMO. But is it gonna be this? I don't know if I like packs that come with Bovidas inside of them, because I don't think Bovidas should ever be like touching the flour. That's my opinion anyways. Smells and looks okay for GMO. Actually, it has quite a nice smell. I think I had a batch of Peace Naturals that was kind of seeded before, but I don't seem to have the same problem with this. I guess let's take out like a nice looking nug and let's test it. I am not hopeful. 27% on the GMO. Okay, look, I'm gonna test it 2 more times. I'm gonna get 2 more nugs, test it, see if we can get any closer. But like, the thing is, I feel like if something's coming out at 27, like, it's not too far-fetched to think, oh, maybe they just bumped it up by a little bit, and then like, how's anyone gonna notice? I think there's also a very good talking point, which is that there isn't really a standard for how you're supposed to test. So I think you could come back and claim that they test to a different standard, and that it comes up at 30, but I think when people claim stuff like that, that's just a cop-out for saying that we get fake tests. Not to claim that anyone has fake tests, but that's just my personal opinion. Let's find out what this Peace Naturals. 26%. 26% again? Look, I'm gonna do one more, but something tells me it's probably around 26, 27, and they just put it up a little bit. Damn, actually, it had a lot of moisture in that. All right, last attempt on the Peace Naturals. 27. I don't think we're getting a 30 from the Peace Naturals today. All right, what is our next highest claim? Our next highest claim is this 31% claim of some gastro pop, which I think I've actually only ever had gastro pop like one time ever in my entire life. It was a very, very long time ago. It smells like some Thai flour, I can't even lie. But it doesn't smell the worst, but it doesn't smell great. It looks kind of old. What's the expiry date on this? It expires in January. So it's probably a little bit old. All right, let's give it a test. This seems pretty old, I can't even lie. So even if it was actually at 31, I doubt it still would be. Oh, this actually said 28 as well. Oh my gosh. And it's old. Bro, that's actually kind of sad because I feel like maybe we could have actually got a 30 result then if it wasn't so old. But let's test some more. 27. Ugh. Bro, every time I get some out of this, it smells really bad. 27 again. Look, I'm gonna give it one more. 27 again. It's not happening. I feel like this one actually had kind of potential where it seems a bit old. I don't think it's happening. Oh, all right. Well, that leaves us with only two left. We have a 32% claim and we have a 36% claim, which we're obviously doing a 32% first and leaving a 36% for last. But this is spritzer. This smells even worse than the last one. But bro, I can't even lie, this is glistening with trichomes and it feels so fresh. I even feel like I could do the cheese string trichome thing with it. If there was any that had the potential to actually test at what they're saying it is by looking at them, this looks like a very good contender. Claims 32%. That is a wild claim. Like even if it's 10% out of the result, that means it still has to be like 29. 28 on the first thing I tested. This is actually the opposite of the last one. The more I get out of it and the more I smell it, the better it smells. First nug I took out was actually like the best looking one. Let's see if we can get higher than 28 on the last test. 26. God damn it. I knew that nug that I got out first was the best looking nug. 26 again, bro. I knew that nug I tested at the beginning was the best one. I don't think I'm getting a better nug than that first one. I'm gonna try it one more time. And this is what we're gonna stick with. I mean, they got a 28, it claims 32, we got a 28. That's pretty good of a claim, but it's still not a 30, bro. 26 again. I think that first nug I got was the best I was gonna get. 27. Look, so it's probably around 27, 28. And again, like, it just seems like, oh, look, if we can see that it's in the 30s, we get more sales. Like, that's how I would see it anyway. Again, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm just saying what it looks like from my perspective with my testing device as I test them. So we have one last thing. One last thing that needs testing. And that is this 36% claimer. 36%. Donkey butter though, I know donkey butter, so if this doesn't even smell like donkey butter, I will have something to say about it. That smells pretty good actually. Debatable whether this is the best smelling one out of all of them or whether it's the strawberry grail. Oh, maybe this one actually. It definitely has like that like Canadian-y kind of smell, but looking at the nugs, there's nothing that to me would indicate that there's something special going on here that would make it somehow magically be 36%. 36% is, well, let's test it. What do you guys think in the comments that the first test is gonna be on the 36%? I'm guessing 26, 27 again, like the rest of them. Maybe I'm about to be shocked. 28 actually is kind of shocking, but it's not 36. It's shocking in the sense of like, oh, we might actually be getting close to that 30, but it's not even close to a 36. Let me test a small nug next. See if the small nugs maybe somehow are packing all of the percent in there. 27%? Again, still not even 30. It's a full 9% off. And not 9% of the result, like 9%. Like actually 9%. You get one of the bigger nugs, try that. 27, bro. That is not anywhere close to 36. But 36 that it claims, like that is some. Like, how is that even allowed? Like, genuinely, how is that even allowed?